Today we learn about diabetes mellitus medications part 2. Drug that we'll be learning is metformin. Channel's name is Heartbeat. My name is Dr. Amrit Kejriwal. So the biguanides. Metformin belongs to the group of biguanides. As of date, only metformin is the only member of this group. It is one of the initial drugs used in the treatment of type 2 diabetes mellitus. It has been found to be effective and safe. It's cheap. It may reduce cardiovascular events. It may be used in monotherapy with lifestyle modification, and it is said to reduce the death. Mechanism of action is various. It reduces production of glucose from liver, reduces basal and after meal sugar. So the baseline sugar is reduced, and even after meals, if the sugar increases, it counters that also. It decreases glucose absorption from the intestine, so less glucose reaches the blood. Increases sensitivity of various cells to insulin, so more cells can take up glucose and more utilization of glucose occurs. Advantages: it improves HbA1c, which gives an average of 3 months sugar. I've already put up a video on HbA1c. It improves body weight, leads to better blood sugar control. It lowers the cholesterol levels also, reduces the clotting of blood because of the lower cholesterol levels, and does not cause reduction of blood sugar below normal. So patient does not get hypoglycemic attacks, hunger pangs. It promotes weight loss. Availability. So after taking it, the peak levels reach in 1 to 3 hours on the immediate release types. There are two types of metformin: immediate release and extended release. The extended release, the peak levels reach in 4 to 8 hours. And the daily dose is 500 milligrams to 2550 milligrams per day, and better action is in divided doses. So you take more than one dose or 2 tablets per day, then you get a better action. If you take 500 mg twice a day, it is better than 1 gram once a day, and remains in the body for up to 96 hours. So if you take one tablet today, it will remain in the body for next 4 days. And it is available in combination with other anti-diabetic medicines. It has some side effects. It causes bloating. It causes abdominal discomfort. It may cause diarrhea. It is maybe associated with vitamin B12 deficiency, and is to be avoided to be consumed with alcohol. To reduce the abdominal discomfort and bloating, it is to be taken after meals. There are certain contraindications for metformin. Hypersensitivity, you get a reaction if you take metformin, so in such patients you don't take metformin. Chronic heart failure, severe kidney disease, patients who have got a deranged kidney function or secondary to shock, severe infection or metabolic acidosis. In such patients we do not give metformin prior to surgery, because it remains in the body for 96 hours. So controlling the sugar in the surgical time may be difficult, and when the patient is lactating. It can be used as a dual therapy, and it can be combined with sulfonylureas, thiazolidinones, maglitinides, DPP4 inhibitors such as linagliptin, glucagon-like peptide agonist liraglutide, SGLT2 inhibitors like dapagliflozin, and it can be combined with basal insulin. So sometimes if you combine metformin with these two and insulin, still you may require a third agent, or you may have to add insulin. Choice. It depends upon the drug specific effects. So such as patient factors, age greater than 55, heart, neck or left vessel occlusion greater than 50%, increase in left side of heart, reduced heart pumping or kidney disease. So in such patients, We use SGLT2 inhibitors or GLP agonists, which I've just mentioned in the previous slides. Now, once you put the patient on metformin, you have to review the patient regularly. So you have to see whether the sugar is controlled, you have to see the efficacy, you have to look for any side effects, look for the patient's burden. Thank you for watching the video. Please do not forget to like the video. Feel free to give comments. Please subscribe to the channel, share link with your friends. Thank you once again.